Phil said, why do women like drama, having an emotional roller coaster? What's the evolutionary benefit? Or is this just a byproduct of solipsism and being the star of a real life movie? I think this is manufactured indignation, Rolo. This is your wheelhouse.
Well, I think, honestly, I think there is an evolutionary need for it anyways. I think right now, as I said before, like how do you make a woman miserable? You give her everything that she's ever wanted. Now, that's like on a personal level. Now think of that on a meta scale, like in a gynocentric social order where we give women more and more and more convenience, dishwashers, washing machines, women's rights, right to vote, this, that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have those things. I'm just saying that we make it easier. It's like men, especially for beta men, throughout history, their way to sort of solve their reproductive problem has always been to make life as easy as possible for women, because they believe in the chore play narrative in a writ large, right? The easier I can make a woman's life, the more time she'll have to bang me, which is like completely opposite. But what happens is, like, the reason why women need that drama, there's two reasons. The first one is like we've made it too easy for them, and so they're craving that innate need for that. The other thing is that it's part of women's existential fear. So when you watch like shows that are like indignation generating, like say for instance The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, the reason why that show has been around for 25 years is it's professional wrestling for women is what it is. It's like they need that kind of high or that thrill, but you're like, well, why do they need that? Well, the reason is they want to know that hypergamous filter is still functioning. So when women talk about like their the feminine mystique, right? Their women's intuition, they want to know that it still works. So when you see a show like Cheaters or something like that like really stimulates that indignation, or The Bachelorette or The Bachelor or whatever. Yeah, exactly. 50 Shades of Grey. Name the thing, that the genre or whatever that women really love, and I will show you every time it stimulates that indignation need, because that indignation need is tied to her ability to filter out the fakes from the real thing. And when we say no, we're the real thing and these are the fakes, and when you make that decision for them, it's like they have to manufacture it for themselves. They like the chemical rush that comes from indignation, because they want to be able to say, ha, this guy's actually a cheater. I found him out. And even if it's like vicariously through other chicks, that's when they still love it. They still get off on it because it stimulates the same thing. So they want to know that they still got it, right? They can still, I can figure this guy out with my intuition. And so that's why indignation is such a big deal to them.
Dude,
that's a red flag too, by the way. You want to stay away from women that like consume that stuff endlessly. You know, the National Enquirer, the fucking Bachelor, the Bachelorette.
They will always love drama, but it's when it's like this constant like addiction need that it becomes.
Well, I don't think you should filter for it like that. I think it's endemic. If a girl is getting excitement in her life, she doesn't go out looking for it. It's like
to be her drug dealer.
Nobody who has a healthy sex life is addicted to porn. It's the same kind of thing. So I would argue if you see a girl who's hooked on this stuff, that's her screaming at the world that she's bored. And we always joke, like, what's the thing about game, right? Strong or positive emotions, negative emotions doesn't matter as long as it's strong. So if anything, it's almost like a girl walking out with like a skirt that's 2 inches too high. It's just like a big indication that she's bored. And if you're more entertaining than 80% of guys out there, which is super easy, then you basically got yourself like a kept tiger. Now, hopefully she's aesthetically pleasing. You don't want to do this with a girl you're just not into anyway. But not necessarily. And then in a marriage too, if you see a girl is all of a sudden hooked on serial killer dramas, well then maybe you just sitting there betting on dog coin every day isn't the most exciting life ever, and you can kind of step it up. But I don't know, building your value. High status guy is entertaining.